Well, hello everyone. Thank you for coming back for part two. And I wanted to invite you into our very sacred little place. I'm bringing you guys into my little, well, I don't know if I give it a title. Right now it's my little hiding place, but I will show you more of it. But right now it's kind of I have all my chamomile hanging. You guys can kind of see this is my little studio. And I'm going to turn it into a set and a little store, and I don't know. I have all kinds of ideas for it. But look at this. Look at this, you guys. I mean, I'm just sitting next to it. Can you guys see? I'm like, I needed some energy. So I decided it was a little hot outside, and we are going to start talking about or continuing our conversation about the North Node in Leo. So in this video, part two, I'm going to go through the first four houses, okay, the first, second, third, and fourth house in a chart. If you are not at that point that you are familiar with what the houses are, please let me know, okay? Let me know. Most everybody that's on this page right now has the basics, so I'm assuming that everyone has the basics. If you do not, please let me know, because I can make more videos that go into more detail of that for you, okay? And I will probably do that anyway. The other thing I want to say, when you are looking at a chart, okay, when you're looking at a chart, you want to look right away to see what other planets are lining up with that North Node. So like I was telling you guys in the first video, when the North Node was in Virgo, it lit up my whole chart. I have more Virgo, probably the most Virgo in my chart. It'll also trine, it'll do the same thing aspecting other parts of your chart. So any Capricorn or Taurus, when the North Node was in Virgo, was highlighting those areas, bringing energy to them. Basically, look at it like that. It's kind of like it's obsessive energy in an area that we need to fuel us to go in a certain direction as a collective and personally. So I don't want to go too far off the deep end when I do these, and I know that I'm going off kind of off the cuff. I do have a point of things I want to share with you, but I like to also give you little pieces of information as we go, little things that come to my mind, and then if you guys want to know more about them and you want me to elaborate on them, I would be happy to do that. But one thing, when I studied, I actually studied serial killers in astrology, and people that were also great people, amazing people, but people that were infamous. Okay, what made them infamous? Was there any patterns in their chart that made them infamous? And when I looked, many of them, almost all of them, shared a common pattern in different signs, but the pattern was basically Sun, Saturn, often Mars, okay, conjunct North Node. So Sun, Mars, Saturn, North Node. When you see that conjunction, okay, now you're understanding that for some people, that obsessive energy can turn bad. Okay, the North Node can also bring out the worst in situations, and that's what it's designed to do, to bring out the best in that area and to bring out the worst. So now if you look at your chart and you say, oh my gosh, I have that pattern. Well, this is also a pattern of amazing people, but very intense people, because it's bringing in all of this intense energy. Sun represents ego. Saturn is that kind of need to control. Mars is aggressive. When you start combining all that, or even with the South Node, okay, the South Node, I've seen that similar conjunctions. So I have seen that. So this tells me that the North Node is extremely important, because it will fuel the situation. So what happens when the North Node goes into the first house? So first house is identity. First house is ruled by Aries, ruled by Mars. So it's our side of us that we're willing to come out. We're willing to shine. We're willing to let other people see, right? Now me, I have my first house, I have my ascendant in Pisces. So I don't really know that I want that as much, right? But, okay, um, you want to look to see what do you have in your first house right now? Are you a Leo? You're a Leo rising. Do you have the sun in Leo? Do you have the moon in Leo? What is going on in that first house? Because the North Node, if you have Leo, the North Node in your first house, the next 18 months, you are going to want to get out there. You are suddenly going to, be like, got this. You might drive everybody crazy because they're going to be like, damn, okay, watch out. Here she comes. Here he comes. It's like, yes, I'm coming. Because what is Leo? Leo is confidence. Leo is the sun. It's vitality. It's don't you know who I am? I mean, the sun comes out every morning and says, excuse me? Like, I'm coming. You need me. You don't know it, but you need me. So, um, when it hits your first house, the identity is going to be very highlighted during this time. This could also be a time where you have to really evaluate your identity. You have to evaluate, what do I put off? Because, if I am putting off this confidence to the point, or power and confidence to the point I have no empathy and I don't care about anyone else or what happens to anyone else, or I can't see past my own mirror because, Leo energy, the sun loves its own reflection. The sun loves its own energy. And Leos often, they have that natural love for themselves. Like, and even if you are Leo or you say I have a lot of Leo, but I don't feel that way, deep inside, there's something in there that says, I know I am supposed to do something special. I know I can't stop until I have that dream. That's that Leo energy that will not let you could go down to the depths of despair, but at the end of the day, you're going to be like, oh no, you guys are going to just watch. Just watch. How do you like me now? It's that energy. So, for all of us in the collective, imagine the next 18 months, people are going to be very, what appears to be sure of themselves. They might even be like obnoxious, like, oh my gosh, how many pictures? It's good selfies are going to be coming back. Okay. It's going to bring out that here I am. Here I am. I'm somebody that's important and I want to be seen. And it's almost like, I don't care if you like it or not, I'm coming. So you will see that a lot. So if you're looking at somebody or you're looking at a chart and you see the North Node is going to move into their first house, into their ascendant, this is an important time to really talk about with them and with ourselves, to keep a check on yourself, that you're not going too far, that you're not just so blinded by the city lights that, you're just willing to, not care about anybody else. It's the shadow side. The shadow side of Leo can be very controlling, can be very jealous, have to be the best, to want to be the only one who gets attention. It can go to the extreme, to the point pathologically that you resent everybody else who's successful because Leo wants to be the one shining in the room. The sun wants to be the life party. But we have to work with people, and a mature Leo knows how to harness this energy and bring people with them to help make their dream come true, because a Leo does know how to bring others up to this high inspirational place and manage them. They will be the managers. So, if you have a lot of Leo in your chart this next 18 months, you may get a position that puts you in a position that you're having to use this energy leading a group, leading people. But again, there will be some obsessiveness here of power trips. So we're going to see a lot of people coming out, and a lot of power trips. Now, interesting fact, okay, just to make note, um, Donald Trump has Mars and his ascendant in Leo, his first house in Leo. So watch what happens the next 18 months. I'd be curious to see. He'll be a good example of how this energy fuels. What will he do? Will he blow it all up? Or will he hold it all together and manage like a king? We'll have to wait to see. I mean, you know, one of the topics that came out very, very strongly the last 18 months was the North Node in Virgo brought out was toxic relationships. And so things such as, because Virgo is very analytical, so things such as narcissism and, cluster B personalities and all these different socio-narcs and narcopaths and, all of these things have been, just top of the list out on YouTube. Why? Because the energy brings out the best and the worst in all of us. And depending on, again, by us having this information, the fact that you're sitting in this room and gaining this insight, just even if it's basic, you know, gives you this tool to put in your tool belt right now, where most people are just going in blindly. It's like follow the sun. And so this next month, you're going to see a lot of shifts in people's personalities. And you'll probably be able to tell who the Leo risings are. But the first house, sticking to the first house, it is our identity. And it's going to change that. So there could be a breakdown before there's a buildup. Let's be honest. That usually happens because it's kind of like somebody giving you a shot of heroin or something. I know that sounds extreme, but you would be like, you don't even know what your personality would be. Fortunately, I would never know either. But for people who use like something that extreme, what's going to come out? Or let's just go to even drinking. What happens to you when you drink? Are you an angry drunk or are you a happy drunk? How do you handle shifts? And for some of us, this is the first time we're really following this path, and we're really paying attention to all of those things. So again, this is a super, super interesting time to watch this. Okay. The other thing to think about, Leo energy is excellent for branding a product. Okay. Branding something. So what is a brand? What is a brand? Well, let's look at some famous Leos. Let's look at J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez, okay? Then she was Jenny from the Block, brand. Then she was J-Lo, brand. She's a Leo, brand. She sells all kinds of different products. Brand, 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 brand. Branded herself. Martha Stewart, Leo. Martha Stewart this, Martha Stewart that. I mean, even if you look at Madonna, she was always branding herself with a new identity. And then it was Madonna this. So there was always a brand, and she's a Leo. So these Leos, Leo energy is very brandy. I have Mars in Leo. And I've always been like that too and didn't even know. Like all my businesses were like little catchy names and I would brand myself. And then when I would go to the end of that business, I'd be like, whatever you do not put your name on your business again because that's your identity forever, But then I'd always do it. I'd brand myself. Cowgirl Astrologer is a brand, okay? So first house people, this is the next 18 months to brand yourself, okay? Brand yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's taking all the work we did during the North Node in Virgo by dissecting and, okay, I could sell this and I could do this and then I could do that. And then, okay, and then I'm going to make my website. And then, oh, I got to make my YouTube channel. And, I got to get on a new Facebook. I'll make a like page, These are all Virgo-y things. You're compartmentalizing the business into small little pieces. North Node in Leo. Let's put a big old red ribbon on it and give it a name and send the care package. It's ready. It's ready to go. Okay? So this next 18 months, the universe is saying, did you do your work? Are you ready? And you might be going, oh my God, I'm not ready. Don't worry. You'll be inspired and fueled to get ready because that's the other great thing is this fire energy is going to take us out of this intense head stuff that the North Node in Virgo had us in, all up in our heads. Now we're going to be all in our passion. We're all going to be wanting to move. Like I would suggest, especially Again, I know I'm taking a little more time on first house, but I want to just kind of give these ideas so you understand that you're gonna have a lot of fire. You're gonna feel like you need to move. You might change your looks. I didn't even think about it at the time, but I went in. I haven't had my hair colored in like 5 years. I haven't done anything with it. And I'm like, put some red in it. I want to do something different. I'm just like, oh, I'm so sick of it. Just flare it up. And then like I'm like, oh, I haven't done anything with my hair like that in so long. North Node Leo. I want my mane. I want that fire. I'm feeling the attraction to the fire. So I even experienced this. That might have been my Mars already being fueled. Don't forget. Yeah, we're 2 weeks away, May 10th. This shift is happening. But no, energy doesn't just go doot, 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 boop, change, doot, 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 doot. It dies down, and then this one starts coming in, and then they start blending together, and then they start moving forward together. It's like this whole amazing process. And we can't even see with our eyes. We just feel it. If you feel it, you know it. You start feeling this, which is why I worked so hard on getting my membership page up. It's like members only, brandy. It's just having fun with it. You have to have fun with it. So, second house. Okay. Second house rules values, rules money, rules kind of our self-worth, like that little childlike heart that we once had. Your second house is kind of like before you hit your eighth house, before you made it all the way to your eighth house, that little sweet second house person. Yeah, that's the first part of your life when you value all of those things. And interestingly enough, the universe often gives us things as children that we often become as adults. We know that. I mean, firemen had little fire trucks when they were 2. And, I became an animal, communicator. And I had animals from the age of 6, little pets, little lizards, little birds, little everything. My mom allowed me and cultivated that in me. Not knowing one day that would be my career, is working with animals. So when the North Node moves there into Leo, it might really bring some fire to childhood memories for people. And when I was a kid, I used to make those. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should do that again. Or I developed that skill as a kid. I can maybe make money doing that. Okay. So it's going to be activating for second house people this need to really look and see, look back and go, how can I make some money? How can I turn this around? Again, branding is going to be in every house. There's going to be a sense of branding something. It's like putting a mark on it. When you brand something, you brand a cow's butt, you put your trademark on it. That's my cow. That's mine. There's going to be a lot of mine. So especially when it comes to money with Leo energy here, now, you do have to be careful, because if you start getting where you're making money, like, oh my gosh, the North Node's in my second house and it's really fueling and I'm starting to make money, the downside's going to be, don't go around bragging about it. Don't go around showing it off too much, because then everybody will hate you. It's like, oh man, you must be a second house North Noder. It's like, as that changes. Remember, it's 18 months to the universe has to break down what's not working before it can give you the fuel to what will work. Okay, it's helping us all. We're always shedding old skin, so the more you have your hands held loosely and not so tight in life, the more you flow with these shifts and changes. And I'm just learning that. Okay, so I'm just learning that. But North Node, second house, Leo, money, values, again, going back to old ideas. All right, let's look at third house. Now, third house is communication. It's advertising. It's websites. It's Facebook. It's skills. You may be completely obsessed with social media the next 18 months if you have third house, if the North Node is filling your third house in Leo. You may be really vocal, okay, because Leos roar. Leos, when they're in their like strut, like you may be strutting on social media. Like you may be the shit, like everybody wants to get on your page, or you have the greatest stuff, or go to your website, or listen to what you have to say. So if you have your third house in Leo, this is a great time to finally be heard, to finally be noticed out there. Again, we look at the darker side. Be careful, because if you're too much and you're constantly bragging and you're constantly, I mean, I've done that too. I have Mars and Leo, and it's like, I don't even want to go to your Facebook anymore. It's like, oh, I was just having like this manic moment of overdoing it on my social media because I felt good. But remember, balance. Balance the energy, harness the energy because you're also have to make sure it's not just a one-man show. It's going to feel like it wants to be a one-man show. Okay? But it's not just a one-man show. We have to remember Leo works from the heart. This is about sharing your passion. This is about creating your passion, harnessing your passion, and doing something with your passion. So, you know, this is a really important time to remember that, you know, the sun is about vitality, warming everybody. Okay? Let's look at this fourth house here. Fourth house can rule mother, can rule home. It's the home we were raised in, but we often recreate the home that we were raised in. I don't know if you're at that point yet, but it's interesting because when I was a little girl, I lived on this cul-de-sac, and it was like all the kids. There was the greatest group of families and kids on this cul-de-sac. We all played 4th of July parties, Barbies, I mean, I'm sure there was problems too, but looking back, you just remember the good, Beth Circle days, it's our name of our street. And still connected with all these people. And we always talk, oh, those are the best days. Those are the best days growing up. We had a really good, surrounding. When I had my daughter in 1997, okay, North Node Virgo, okay, I was moving towards this North Node Leo, or moving back this energy, but I had radical stuff happen during the Virgo time. But when the Leo time hit, the North Node Leo triggered my life 19 years ago, my whole entire world shifted and changed. Okay? And I was so excited to try new things. I was so excited to do something different. So when my daughter was growing up, I wanted to recreate that same experience for her. I did it my own unique way, but I created a little backyard boarding stable and had all the kids come to the ranch, and they all had horses here. And so my daughter grew up with all these friends and all these horses in this little world that was basically a recreation from the good feeling I had here. So, fourth house memories, looking back at the good of your childhood, the moments, maybe, some of us didn't have such good situations. Sometimes we had had a good situation, but then I found out there was a lot of things, secrets and stuff hidden behind the scenes that were hidden from me until I became older. I didn't know about. So we don't always know, even though it appears somebody's having, this great life, that can change. But fourth house is all about your home. With the North Node and Leo going here, this could be you want to open your home to others. You don't want to be such a recluse anymore. You want to open your home. You want to have a party. You want to have events. You might brand your home. You might go, hey, like my property here where the water drips. I just recently named it that, branding my property. It used to be Wagon Wheel Ranch when I had all the kids, but now as I'm moving into retreats and astrology stuff, I've changed the name, the new energy of the name, the new energy of the ranch. I branded it, gave it a name. Give your life a name. Maybe you'll brand your home. Maybe you'll put your last name on it, or this is my family's home. It's that feeling of this is ours. The lion sits up on the hill and he owns everything. He looks down and if anybody comes into his territory and his little pride, whoever is under his pride, his protection, he values his home. So it's very, very, very important that we understand we're going to be feeling a lot more protective. And as we should right now, because the North Node energy will also fuel out a lot of people and bring to the surface very narcissistic situations or very toxic people or opportunists or, kind of stealing your brand, stealing your, it's that identity, but it's more of your name. Okay, it's not just the secret identity. It's, I want that name. I want that. Okay. So when you look at your home and you look at your life, you want to create a sanctuary. You want to create a hill that's yours, that you feel safe in, that's your queendom, your kingdom. And again, taking out anything that threatens that. Bye bye. You'll be feeling like a lion and not taking no shit. So, you know, these are some things to think about. Now, fourth house, again, anytime you have a house so highly activated, this could be that you're going to be moving to a grander place, a better place. You're tired of living in this hubble, so you just want something nice, because Leo is all to kind of name brandy and the best. Taurus is like that as well, but Leo kind of, they've got to have everything the best, everything, including pictures. A lot of times it'll be professional pictures, be more professional. I think we'll see in the next 18 months, I think we'll see people, like I said, really coming out with their brands. I already saw it today on Facebook, like all these women coming out now doing coaching, life coaching, and all about how they struggled the last 5 years, like we all are with these little entrepreneur businesses and this big sea of everybody on every corner. So it's really, really important right now that we all really claim this space and kind of start to cultivate, like, this is my space, that's your space. Hi, love you, but I am building an empire, a kingdom, a queendom. I'm building this energy of bringing life to my home. So whether it's the first house, life to your identity, a new identity, like I said, it's Leo is very flamboyant. So, you know, if you feel like all of a sudden somebody in a first house might go cut their hair, go do makeup, new clothes, be a completely different person, go buy a sports car, like all of a sudden they're like, I got to flash, I gotta shine. So that's good. Um, second house, like I said, you're gonna might have a little money rolling in. But again, that humble lion, the smart lion, has some humility and understands that when they're overly blessed, that um, they use it wisely, because you don't want to be taken down. I know it sounds a little hard, but I think I've always, because I have Mars and Leo, I've always been kind of out there and shared and come to my home, come to my life, and come see what I got, and come see what I have. And I guess I didn't necessarily see it as bragging. Sometimes that sun blinds you and you just think, oh, look, at life is good, God is good, look what I have. And there's an innocence in that. But you can also attract a lot of people that, like, must be nice, or wow, how'd you get that? And you get those little negative words in your ears. You start feeling bad about doing anything good or having anything good. You start worrying that people are going to judge you. And not that you should care. And really, with North and Leo, we may not care. It's like, too bad for you. It is a little bit of a snotty kind of, how do you like me now, in your face kind of energy. You may be experiencing that with other people, so that if you start seeing people be really cocky or really aggressive, then you may realize, ooh, wow, that North Node's really feeling them right now. But you have to understand, a lot of people are going to have no clue. So this can turn into, extreme for them, or you will see people kind of, anytime the North Node shifts, it fuels different people's mind differently. We saw a lot of people break down in the last 18 months psychologically, okay, up in the brain, analyzing every word someone said and did and do, and the media, and it was just like this Virgo intensity. And be curious to see how it plays out and changes, because also Leo is the showboat, the showgirl, the show guy. If you have Leo in your planets, you're going to want to look to see where it's going to fuel that area. Like for me, and I'm going to close this first part because we just did 1 through 4, and then I'll continue this in the next video. But for me, I have Mars in Leo in my 6th house of daily work, of getting stuff done. And I'm really kind of excited about that, because when the North Node was in Virgo, I was overanalyzing everything. I just sit there and stare at boxes, like how much I need to do, but wasn't making it happen. I did some things off and on, but it was like more like thinking about what I need to do, but not having the energy to actually do it, but like over analyzing it all the time, driving me crazy. I'm really feeling like maybe now I'll have the let's get this done and start pounding out boxes because now my Mars will be activated. Okay. Um, but I'm also trying to be careful because I realize that, I'm starting to think about, what I want. And even in my relationships, it's like I'm finding myself being really impatient with people that are trying to take advantage of me. Where normally I would just be like, all right, I'll do it. Fine, just go. I'll do it. Don't worry about it. Now I'm like, you know what? I have a life too. And and my time is valuable too. And all of a sudden I find myself already, starting to feel that. But that attitude will get you where you need to go. Because if you don't kind of call rank in your own life and have a little bit of self absorption, many of us, especially those of us on this in this channel, are empaths. We waste our energy on so many things and we don't get stuff done. So Mars and Leo is going to be coming in. I'll talk more about the sixth house in the next video. But I know I'm giving you guys kind of like lots of stuff, but these you can watch these again, pick up what you want. This is my style right now. I just want to share from experience and understanding and, help you guys see through this in an intuitive way, the different ways this could be playing out. And so you're at least watching. And when you're talking to people or you're looking at charts, you can at least see some indication. And then you can actually watch their life over time or your own and see, did it play out close to that? Or was there a new storyline that played out but it had the same fiery foundation? Okay. All right, you guys. So I'll be back for houses 5 through 9, right? I think I got that right. Okay. Talk to you soon.